Welcome to the Sauerland in Germany on what is a very special day for the townspeople of Willingen. For today, the town hosts its first ever World Cup competition, round 7 of this season's championship. And over 30,000 have travelled here by plane, by road, by rail, and the vast majority hoping for a German victory. On this new hill, which has a K or calculation point of 120 meters. The wind swirling round a little bit, and the hill record set in training by the most daring of all today's jumpers, Funaki, Kazuyoshi Funaki, who set 132 meters. And Thoma in this, the first round, very much one of the fancied home team jumpers. Thoma, 25 years of age, from Hinterzarten, and really leaves the table with good timing. And that's an excellent first leap, and it's over the K point. A brilliant third place in the last of the 4 hills at Bischofshofen a few days ago. Third on the podium there at 122 meters. So 1.8 points for every meter extra than 120. The style, well, a bit of a mixture there. The highest and lowest will be discarded, but Thoma will take the early lead in this first jump. 50 have qualified, 51 in fact have qualified, but it's really down to the men who are in form. And here's a man who's in and out of form, but he's a favourite, the Olympic champion on the big hill, Jens Weissflog. He really had hope for good things, to win a record 4th 4 Hills championship, but it wasn't to be, and the best he ever placed was 11th. So his record of 29 wins, he's now still looking for number 30. Hasn't won this season, or really, to be honest, got near it. The timing, the mental part of the job, the biggest problem for Weissflog, but that's a good effort. And he's less than Thoma, but that's a good opening leap, about 120 meters. In fact, it might be a little bit more. Weissflog, who gets good style on his jumps, and he's going to get 19s, 19 and a half. There they are, 120 and a half, and he just goes ahead of Thoma. So Germany 1 and 2, and the crowd really happy. Look at the arms, really steady, and look for the telemark, and Weissflog gets a very nice one. Now here's the runner-up in Bischofshofen, Roberto Ceccon of Italy, currently 4th in the World Cup rankings. And if he puts another 2 good jumps together here, he can't be that far away from a victory. He finished last season strongly, and he's beginning to find his forms. He jumped 127 meters in training. That would do very nicely here. Nice compact tuck, aerodynamic position. Explodes off the in run. And Ceccon just shy of the calculation point, so he's going to lose 1.8 points. Every meter more you get bonus points, but if you jump short of 120, then they take 1.8 points off. And he's going to put him into 3rd place at the moment, 119. But the 23-year-old from Tarvisio beginning to mount a threat to the best. Now Funaki, the man who jumped 131 and a half and crumpled, and but for that he might have just won the 4 hills. The extreme position on the in run, and few have the power to drive up as he does, but that's a great start again for Funaki. Timing that he has at the moment, real confidence, he just really feels, and it's 124 and a half meters. Short by a long way of what he jumped in training here, but it doesn't matter, and fair marks for style. It's the landing where he loses the points mostly. 2 points taken off there, not really a telemark. And now Andy Goldberger, hill champion, Intersport hill champion for 1995, the leader of the World Cup. and he really is in sparkling form. He hasn't been out of the first two all season. And again, well timed off the table, and he's in contention. Just about the same as Funaki, I would say. In fact, it is. It's 125 meters. He's half a meter further, and Goldberger is going to lead. Funaki didn't get the telemark. His style marks won't be as good as these. And 126 points in total for Andy Goldberger, the 22-year-old World Cup leader in sparkling form. Member of the Waldsel Ski Club. 6 wins to his credit, and now looking for his 7th. So what a start then for Andy Goldberger. The crowd behaving a lot better than they did during the 4 hills. There was a little whistling earlier on, but they're not being quite as aggressive to the Austrian jumpers, I should say, and finding a bit of respect for the man who leads. And this is the situation after the first jump. Best for Italy. Ottersen the best for Norway, because Bredesen, I can tell you, is down in 20th place. He's really struggling. Nieminen, the double Olympic champion of 1992, he really is on the way back. Ahonen, the young 17-year-old teammate, he's also in good form. Suhasek, the best for Czech Republic, and then Schwarzenberger. The best going in reverse order, and this is Tetsuya Okabe, a lowly 24th. Just can't get the timing on the in-run right, but that's a lot better. It's short of 120, but he only jumped 107.5, and the style's a bit better. It's not the flight, and it's really not the landing, which is the biggest problem. It's the in-run where he doesn't or can't seem to get the body position correct for another youngster making a name for himself. 5th in Innsbruck. Superb, a personal best just after the new year in the Intersport 4 hills. And that's a good jump. He'll lose a little bit for style, maybe 1.5 points, but that's 118 meters. It's a meter longer than Okabe. And look at that, 18.5, 19 points, and he's got the lead. Rico Meinl looking to try and improve on that place. A bronze medalist a couple of seasons ago, Rico, with the German team in the Junior World Championships. But this is the big boy stuff. Here's Nicola. Another man really recapturing his best form. 4th, 6th, 8th and 7th in the 4 hills. Really consistent to give him 4th place overall. Just missed out on the podium. And this man's style is usually impeccable. Beautiful body position during the flight. Now, it's not as long as he would have needed. It's longer than the first jump. It was 110, which has left him a lot to do. But 116.5, and he's not going to lose much here for style. The Italian judge 18.5, but that'll get discarded along with one of the 19.5s, and Nicola maintaining his challenge for the season. Jani Soininen, another of the talented squad of Finns, and Hanula Pestu has really got the strongest squad of the lot. But Soininen a little bit in and out. A very good 3rd. Soininen on the big hill at Garmisch. Best of his season so far, and Soininen just about the same as Nicola. Style fair. Again, another man to lose a point, 1.5. The flight very good. Skis pretty steady and pretty even. Looking to spot the landing. Gets the telemark. So it's little bits and pieces that he's lost. Now Nicolas Jean-Paul for France. Really on the comeback trail. This man who, as we've mentioned before, chucked it all in at the end of last season, and then after such a disastrous time said, no, I really don't want to go out like that, and he's having a really good time at the moment. 9th in the Four Hills. And Jean Pro's gone for a long one, and he's got it. Excellent there. It's not over the calculation point, but Jean Pro is form maintained, and he's really enjoying himself this season. Franck Salvi tails up in the French camp there. Good style, unanimity virtually amongst the judges, and he takes the lead. Best he's managed so far this season is 6th, but he's 15th and 9th, 6th and 9th in the other big hills in the intersport competition. That's the situation as down the end run comes Reinhard Schwarzenberger, the outsider who won Oberstdorf, and he is taking on the big boys for the first time, but this 17-year-old really is maturing fast. 109, he'll be disappointed, but really he's done far better already this season than I think he could have even hoped for. Another junior world team bronze medalist, Schwarzenberger. Now the man who was equal to him, the 16-year-old sensation from the Czech Republic. He's yet to really get near to winning, but he's coached by the former Olympic champion Jiří Raska and Jakub Suhasek. 118 meters in the first jump. Anything like that again is going to put him right up there. Really gets a broad spread, but he holds it steady. No telemark, but he's delighted with the distance. Suhasek, really good effort. 10th in Innsbruck, and 114 and a half. He's in 3rd place at the moment. And the landing adjudged to be a little better than he normally gets. It's experience which will help him to get the telemark. Jiří Raska will be very pleased with his man. Now Jani Ahonen, another of the teenagers. Ahonen, also a Four Hills winner this year, the champion of Garmisch on New Year's Day. The junior world champion of the last couple of seasons, but he's really making a name for himself. And the consistency, well, the only result that's let him down a little bit was Bischofshofen, where he finished 16th. Otherwise, he's not been worse than 7th. Good jump there by Ahonen. Just about, maybe a little bit longer, in fact, than the first round. A meter or so more. And the star will be very good. He gets the telemark here, 119 and a half. And a 20 from the Norwegian judge. And that's praise indeed, because they really do watch for the classic landing. So Ahonen has the lead, but still Goldberger and Weissflog and Funaki to come. So now Toni Nieminen, 7th after the first round. Nieminen, 8 World Cup wins. What a fantastic year 92 was. Junior world champion, double Olympic champion, World Cup champion, Four Hills champion. Nobody ever did that before. Some say it'll never be done again, but Nieminen, he really is earning reward for the fact that he went back to basics, got to grips with the training, and although he's short 117 meters, Nieminen in contention again for another good finish. Well, Bredesen still without form. Lasse Ottesen, the man who keeps Norwegian heads high at the moment. 117 and a half meters in the first round for Ottesen. Never won a World Cup. He's been second. That was in Sweden in 1993. And timing wrong off the table, and that's going to drop him away. Lasse Ottesen is going to push him down quite a bit. And 102.5, he'll be disappointed with that. Ottesen, who finished 10th in the 4 hills. So now to the big 5. Roberto Ceccon. Now, can he put another long jump? Can he go, as he really needs to go, over 120 meters to put pressure on those that follow? Didn't bother with a qualification jump. The best 15 don't have to do that, but he did 127 in training. And as I mentioned in the first round, if he could do that here now, that would really throw the whole competition wide open. Not quite. Ceccon, less than 115, in fact 112 meters. It's very respectable, and he is relatively consistent, but he's again missed the podium. Last year was certainly his best ever World Cup season. Now the cheers are going to go up. There's Finland 1 and 2, France are 3rd, Ceccon for Italy 4th, and Finland making it 3 in the top 5. But here's Germany, 2 Germans to come in a row, and this is Gita Thoma. Feeling pretty fit, pretty confident. And can he really return to the crowd what they want? A win. 90 kilometers an hour off the end of the table, and Thoma out to his left, and that's a decent effort. But it's not over the calculation point. The in-run gate here, the same for the second jump as it was for the first. And Thoma only 116.5 meters. But he's happy enough to be leading at the moment. But he knows that Funaki and Goldberger, who are in such good form, are to follow. Now here's a man who's, I think, a little tense. He's certainly under pressure, Weissflog. It hasn't been his season so far. No, too late. Waited and waited, and that's going to be short. And the hands went down, and Weissflog knew it when he was coming off the end of the table. He really left it far too late there. And the style's good, but the meters are short. 114 meters, it means that 1.8 points times 6 are deducted, and off the 60 that he could have got if he'd hit 120 meters, and that's where he loses out. And that's where the others are beating him at the moment. Now, 2 to jump. Kazuyoshi, Funaki, just 19. What a season this young man's having. Almost 4 hills champion. Oh, he's so extreme. He really gets such a low tuck on the in-run, explodes, and this time he stands up on his second jump. It's just about the same. Maybe a little less. No, in fact, it is exactly the same. 124.5 meters. And Funaki, good style here. Look at the landing. Well, I don't understand the Norwegian judge. 17 there. I think that's a bit cruel. Anyway, that won't count because the lowest one is thrown away. But that looked one of the best jumps, stylishly, that I've seen from Funaki. Andy Goldberger, 125 in the first round, beaming with confidence. This for career win number 8, if he can match what he did in the first jump. Really gets speed and flight. That's over. That is longer than his first round. Not by much, but it's enough. It's enough to ensure it, and he knows it. 126.5 meters to Andy Goldberger, and the congratulations. He's really confident at the moment, and but for him, Austria would have a pretty difficult time. But as it is, Heinz Koch, the head coach for the Austrian team, he's got the World Cup leader in his squad, and that will give him and everyone else a lot of confidence. You can see he went for the distance, and that's why the style marks are a little low. Certainly worse than he got in the first jump, where he got 18.5s and 19s, but it's the landing where he loses them, but it's the meters that he gains that make the difference. And Andy Goldberger gets win number 8 of his career, which just coincidentally is the same number that Tony Nieminen has got to his credit. But he's so good on the in run, and like Funaki, those two are really out on their own at the moment. I think Thoma, he's pretty pleased with his form, but he knows at the moment that he and the rest just can't attack these two in a realistic sense whilst they're doing so well. So there it is, Willingen's first World Cup champion is an Austrian. Andy Goldberger's his name, and you can see he takes it decisively for Kazuyoshi Funaki, with Germany's Thoma on the podium. Yannick Ahonen ahead of Weissflog. Niemenen's up there again in 6th place, ahead of the Frenchman Jean Pro, who underlines his good form. Roberto Chacon again in the top 10, then Soininen, and then in the 10th spot, 16-year-old Jakub Suchacek of the Czech Republic. And the spread there, 37 points, but it's a decisive win at the end of the day by Goldberger, who's very much the man to beat. Further down, Nicola underlining Finland's strength ahead of the Oberstdorf winner Schwarzenberger, who's proving that was no flash in the pan. Rico Meinl, a name for your notebook, Germany's future youngster perhaps. Takunuobi Okabe getting points but still struggling. Ottesen the best for Norway, and then Jekle, the tall German, in 16th place. But those are the men on the podium. Andy Goldberger at the top of affairs. Just one little note, Jiri Palmer for the Czech Republic, the senior man on the tour. He's 32 tomorrow, so our best wishes to him for a happy birthday, and I hope you've enjoyed the action here from Willingen. Next weekend, it's the turn of the Swiss resort of Engelberg to welcome the stars of the Ski Jumping World Cup. We'll be there, and I hope that you will be as well. For now, though, from myself, David Goldstrom, and all the Eurosport team, as we go off to relax with a beer, I hope you'll enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good week, and we'll see you next weekend in Switzerland.